Some aircraft were built to fly, others were built to break every rule of aviation. In today's video, we're counting down the strangest aircraft ever created, from bizarre triple-wing fighters and crop dusters that look like flying tractors to secret military machines that skim just feet above the ocean. These incredible designs may seem impossible, but every one of them actually flew, and each solved a problem in a way no one had ever tried before. Some became legends, others ended in disaster, but all of them prove that the history of aviation is far stranger than fiction. Let's take off and discover the most unbelievable aircraft ever built. Our list begins with Fokker Dreidecker 1, one of Germany's most unusual and recognizable fighter aircraft from World War I. Introduced in 1917, it was built for one purpose, outturning everything else in the sky. Power came from a 110 horsepower Oberursel rotary engine. But unlike modern engines, the entire engine rotated with the propeller. That design produced a loud, distinctive sound while creating powerful gyroscopic forces that constantly pulled the aircraft to the right. Its three stacked wings gave it the appearance of a flying wooden staircase, sacrificing speed for incredible climb performance and razor-sharp maneuverability. With a top speed of around 115 miles per hour, it wasn't fast. But in a dogfight, it was terrifyingly effective, allowing skilled pilots like the famous Red Baron to outmaneuver most British and French fighters. That agility, however, came at a dangerous cost. During steep, high-speed dives, the stress on the upper wing could become so severe that parts of it could fail in midair, making every mission a serious gamble. And if you think three wings look strange, just wait until you see the incredible aircraft coming in at number 9. At number 2 is the Caproni CA-3, a massive Italian heavy bomber introduced in 1915 that pushed the limits of early aviation. Built almost entirely from wood and canvas, this 7,200-pound aircraft relied on three 150-horsepower Isotta Fraschini engines, two pulling from the front and one pushing from the rear. The combined noise and vibration made every flight an unforgettable experience, while its top speed reached just 85 miles per hour. With its twin-boom tail and skeletal frame, the CA-3 looked more like a flying construction scaffold than a conventional airplane. Despite its unusual appearance, it became one of the world's first strategic bombers, carrying up to 1,700 pounds of bombs deep behind enemy lines. But its most shocking feature was the rear gunner's position. Standing completely exposed above the spinning rear propeller, the gunner had almost no protection from enemy fire, and even a sudden slip or violent maneuver could prove fatal. It was one of the most dangerous jobs in early aviation. And if this flying giant looks strange, the next aircraft resembles something even more unusual, a pregnant water bird. At number 3 is the Fuan Grumman J-2F Duck, an unusual amphibious aircraft introduced by the U.S. Navy in 1936. Weighing nearly 5,500 pounds empty, it was powered by a 900-horsepower Wright Cyclone radial engine, giving it a top speed of around 190 miles per hour. What made the Duck stand out was its oversized central float, which was blended directly into the fuselage, giving it a bulky, awkward appearance that earned it the nickname Ugly Duckling. But that strange design had a very important purpose. Hidden inside the large pontoon was a watertight compartment that could carry a stretcher and a medic, allowing crews to rescue downed pilots directly from the ocean. It became one of the Navy's most dependable search and rescue aircraft. Those missions, however, were anything but easy. Landing on rough seas meant smashing into towering waves, and pilots often described the impact as bone-rattling. In severe conditions, the aircraft could even threaten to flip over during touchdown. It may not have been the most beautiful airplane ever built, but when lives were on the line, the Grumman Duck proved it was exactly the aircraft the mission needed. Next up is the Fairey Gannet, a British naval aircraft introduced in 1949 with one of the strangest engine designs ever fitted to an airplane. Instead of using two separate engines on the wings, engineers packed two Armstrong Siddeley Mamba turboprop engines into a single nose section, producing more than 2,900 shaft horsepower through a pair of contra-rotating propellers. This unique setup pushed the 10,000-pound aircraft to speeds of over 310 miles per hour, while giving it the reliability needed for long patrols over the open ocean. Its appearance was just as unusual, with a tall, multi-level cockpit that looked like several glass cabins stacked together, along with distinctive folding wings for aircraft carrier operations. The layout had a purpose, though. The pilot flew from the front while radar operators in the rear searched for enemy submarines below. Even better, if one engine failed, the other could still power the aircraft home through a shared gearbox. But that clever system came with a downside. The gearbox was incredibly complex and difficult to maintain, and the screaming turbines were so loud they could permanently damage the hearing of flight deck crews. Strange as it was, the Gannet proved remarkably capable, but the next aircraft on our list looks even more unbelievable. At number 5 is the Transavia PL-12 Airtruck, an Australian aircraft introduced in 1965 that was designed with function taking priority over appearance. Built for crop dusting across the harsh Australian outback, it carried a huge 2,000-pound hopper filled with agricultural chemicals, while a 300-horsepower Continental flat-six engine pushed it to a modest cruising speed of around 105 miles per hour. At first glance, the Airtruck looks like several different airplanes combined into one, with its short central fuselage, twin-tail booms, and a cockpit mounted high above the chemical tank. As odd as it looked, every part of the design had a purpose. The separated tail booms allowed loading trucks to drive directly to the rear of the aircraft, making it safer and easier to refill chemicals while keeping the pilot away from the toxic cargo. Flying it, however, was another story. Its unusual shape made it difficult to control in strong crosswinds, forcing pilots to work constantly to keep it stable. Despite its awkward looks, the Airtruck became an icon of agricultural aviation and was even featured as the villain's aircraft in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And now, we're about to enter the top 5 strangest aircraft ever built. Coming in at number 4 is the Beechcraft Starship, an American aircraft introduced in 1989 that looked decades ahead of its time. Designed to reduce aerodynamic drag and showcase advanced composite construction, it was powered by 2 rear-mounted Pratt & Whitney turboprop engines, producing around 1,200 horsepower each. Weighing more than 14,000 pounds, the Starship could cruise at nearly 380 miles per hour, making it one of the most futuristic business aircraft of its era. Its appearance was unlike anything else in the sky, with forward canards, a tailless layout, sweeping wings, and rear pusher propellers that made it resemble something from a science fiction movie. The rear-mounted engines also created a much quieter cabin, giving passengers a smoother and more comfortable travel experience. But despite its innovative design, the Starship never achieved commercial success. Because carbon fiber construction was still relatively new, certification requirements forced engineers to make the structure much heavier than originally planned. That extra weight reduced its performance, increased operating costs, and made it difficult to compete with more conventional business aircraft. In the end, only 53 were built, making the Starship a bold idea that arrived before its time. But the aircraft at number 3 pushed engineering to an even more unbelievable level. At number 3 is the Bell X-22, an American experimental aircraft that first flew in 1966, decades before modern tilt-rotor technology became practical. Bell engineers set out to create an aircraft that could take off and land vertically like a helicopter while flying as fast as a conventional airplane. Weighing around 15,000 pounds, it was powered by 4 General Electric turboshaft engines, producing a combined 5,000 horsepower, allowing it to hover in place and reach speeds of roughly 250 miles per hour. Its appearance was unlike anything else, featuring 4 large, tilting, ducted fans mounted around a compact fuselage instead of traditional wings. The aircraft was developed to transport troops and supplies into areas where runways simply didn't exist, such as dense jungle clearings. But the real engineering challenge was hidden inside. Rather than driving the fans directly, the engines were connected through an intricate network of high-speed drive shafts. During the transition from hovering to forward flight, even small vibrations could become dangerously destructive, making every test flight a serious challenge. The Bell X-22 was an ambitious experiment that helped shape the future of vertical flight. But the aircraft at number 2 is even stranger, a helicopter designed to fly without a pilot on board. And finally, We have the AA-90 Orleanok, one of the Soviet Union's most secretive and unusual military machines. Introduced in 1972, this enormous 300,000-pound ground effect vehicle was designed to skim just a few feet above the ocean, using a cushion of compressed air beneath its wings to stay below conventional radar detection. A massive Kuznetsov turboprop engine, delivering around 15,000 horsepower, pushed it to speeds of nearly 250 miles per hour, while two hidden turbojet engines in the nose provided extra thrust during takeoff by forcing air beneath the wings. The result was a machine that looked like a cross between a warship and an airplane. Built for rapid amphibious assaults, it could carry more than 150 fully equipped troops, or even heavy armored vehicles straight onto a beach at remarkable speed. But operating it was extremely risky. During a 1975 test, a powerful wave tore off the entire tail section. In an incredible display of skill, the crew used the nose engines to keep the crippled vehicle under control and managed to bring it safely back to base. The Orleanok remains one of the boldest and strangest military aircraft ever built. That wraps up our list of the strangest aircraft ever built. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more incredible stories about aviation, engineering, and cutting-edge technology. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.